One of the things that whenever I'm teaching about the Vietnam War to this generation, it's really hard to get across how unpopular the war was at the time among the American public. I think in 1970, a majority of Americans opposed the war. They thought it was morally wrong. And there's a lot of misremembering the war, especially the anti-war movement. If you look at Hollywood portrayals, it's these liberal hippies in San Francisco versus veterans who came home from the war and they're spat upon. But the fascinating thing about members of the VAW was that there were a large number of not only active duty GIs, but also veterans who turned against the war itself. There's a question in there somewhere, and I'm curious, what message would you want the American public to really understand about veterans who turned against the war?
There's a lot more to patriotism than picking up a flag and waving it.
You mentioned that patriotism is more complicated than what people might think. Can you tell me more about that? Do you have a sense that your protest against the war was patriotic?
Well, I did volunteer for the Army to avoid the draft, as I said. But I felt it was a patriotic responsibility to do that. My dad served, my grandfather served, my uncle served in Guadalcanal all the way through the Marines in the Pacific. My grandfather served in World War I as an engineer, I told you. I don't know, we go much further back as an American family. Truth truth is not truth. What can I say? When you get into stupidity like that, at this point, I'm almost ready to throw up my hands and, leave it to you younger people. So I'm happy to have at least somebody paying attention here. And I don't know that what I have to say is anything different than most would say. What is it about patriotism? It's a responsibility for yourself. It's not the country here, it's a concept. And it means creating a space first for yourself, because you're responsible for yourself, and maybe making enough space to bring others along with you, and making sure that they're creating their space too. You can't just wave a flag and say, I'm a patriot. It has nothing to do with the flag.